Hey friends, it's Erin with What a Witch Knows. Happy new moon, happy 3A Atlas arrival day, happy almost solstice. This is such a powerful gateway that we're in right now, and I just actually filmed a couple of shorts about 3A Atlas, the interstellar object that's doing a flyby of Earth today, what I think it means, how I think it relates to our personal truth, also to archetypes and creating new archetypes, creating our own new archetypes and what we want to be in the future, stepping into our future selves. I definitely encourage you to watch those shorts before you watch this channeling, just because I explain in those shorts some channel messages that have been coming through to me around the Atlas for several days now. This is like my third try filming this video. The messages took definitely divine timing to come through. I had to really set that intention to be open to receive the messages, and I think that that's going to be a lesson for all of us. That divine feminine receptivity, being open to receive messages, setting the intention to receive what you want to receive, and then just waiting, just sitting back and waiting. You know, there's certain ways that, like I talk about this in my intuition videos, there's certain ways that you can be in a better receptive mode, like being in the shower, being in the car, you know, not having distractions. So anyway, I will link for you guys below my intuition tips video. I will also link those two shorts I talked about 3A Atlas. But for now, I'm going to do a reading for y'all using my archetypes deck. So I'm actually really out of my comfort zone with this, and I think that is apropos because I think we're all out of our comfort zone right now. I think 3A Atlas is pushing us, as I said in one of the shorts, into new archetypes. So we get to develop our own new archetypes. We get to rewrite our own story. So there's all of these archetypes we've lived with for generations and generations, but now we get to decide, who are we now, and what archetype does that look like? Interesting. The unseen came up. The unseen. I almost feel like this message is a little bit like, you're not supposed to know. I really do think that our conscious brains cannot tell us the answer to that question. I think we need to set that intention to be open to receive the messages from, you know, however you conceive of the divine, whether that's spirit, whether that's your ancestors, whether that's your future self, your higher self, your spirit guides. Set the intention to be open to receive information about who you are now, who you are moving into this new era. That will speak to you. The truth will speak to you through resonance in your heart. You'll feel it in your heart. You'll feel like, yeah, that's the thing. That's who I am. That's how I know, because it's the heart speaking to you. I also love that we're at the very end of Sagittarius season right now, and that's a fire sign, and we're getting close to the solstice, which is all about that fire, that light, lighting that fire within you. You know, if there's darkness all around you, maybe you're the light. I don't know if you've ever heard that phrase, but be the light, like be the story, write the story, take your power back, be the creator. I think that's the invitation that that 3A Atlas is really opening up for us. The venom. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have ever seen Dune, but in Dune, and this is actually this is something that is drawn from ancient traditions. The priestess drinks a poison, and that poison sends her into basically a spiritual, not hallucination, but like a vision quest almost. And her body goes through this very intense transformation. But the truths that she learns through that vision quest are then brought back to the community to help the community during periods often of transition or strife. So I want to say that 3A Atlas is doing something similar in the sense that it's bringing the dark stuff, the bad stuff, up to the surface to be seen. Like I said in one of the shorts, I don't think that it's a coincidence that the flyby of 3A Atlas is happening the same day that the Epstein files are being released. I think it's activating truth to come to the surface, even if it's horrible truth, even if it's truth that's abhorrent. It's something that we all need to see and understand so that we can then make sure that this never happens again, that everyone is safe, and that we treat each other with respect and love. And that, you know, one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately is, how do we change the operating system of our society from fear to love. Like right now, it's like changing an operating system on a computer, right? Like right now, we're running on a Mac system, a system run by fear. This is a vestige of colonialism. You know, the powers that be need to use fear to control you, right? So everything in our society is underpinned by fear. Like you hear the tech bros, the Palantir guys talking, and they're like, the only way that we can be safe is if our enemies live in fear of us. You know, and then they're talking about this mass surveillance state, and that's another way to like trigger fear in our enemies. Well, first of all, that's all bullshit. But it's underpinned by this assumption that A, that there's good guys and bad guys, and B, that violence is necessary somehow in order to be safe. Bullshit, right? When I say that out loud, like you can hear how bullshit that is, but that is literally the underpinning assumption of our society. So how do we change the assumption, the underlying assumption, the underlying operating system of our society from I need to fucking kill everybody to I need to love people and treat them with respect? It's literally changing from like a Mac system to a Windows system or vice versa or whatever. So it's not that people don't understand this, they do. It's just that our system is so outdated and so old that we need to fundamentally figure out how to change it. And I think in order to do that, the bad stuff, the gross stuff, the horrible stuff, the morally abhorrent stuff needs to... My cat is literally stepping on my elliptical and like having a little workout right now. I'm just gonna... Hang on one second. There he is in the background. You can kind of see him. Right there. Oh! Yeah, there he is. Hey, bud. What's going on? Hi, you want to join the reading? Okay. Yeah, he looks like kind of demonic right now. He's a gray cat. That's why his name is Earl. Oh, whoa. Yeah, so this is the maiden archetype. So the maiden is one of the trio of maiden, mother, crone. But it's when you're stepping into an experience and you have no idea what that experience is going to look like. And I think that's where we are now. We're stepping into an experience that's an adventure, that's terrifying, that's exciting, that's exhilarating, that's new. And we don't know where we're going to land with it. Like oftentimes in the traditions, the maiden has guidance, especially from the crone, because the crone's spiritual purpose is to guide others on their journey, journey from girlhood to womanhood to motherhood to that wise woman archetype. But where we are now, we're stepping into this new journey, and I think that guidance is coming from ourselves. I think it's coming from spirit. I think it's coming from our spirit team, but I do believe that we have a lot of support, and I believe 3i Atlas is part of that network of support. I don't think it's something to be afraid of. I think there's been a lot of fear-mongering around it. I do believe it holds a consciousness, but I believe it's a consciousness of love and support in order to help us meet our true selves and have that truth rise within us. The mentor. Yeah, it's our mentor. It's guiding us. It's supporting us. It's not guiding us so closely that we can't make our own choices and decisions. It's more like an invitation into our true selves. And I think a lot of spirituality is like that. I think a lot of it is more of an invitation to follow our highest path, to follow our divine plan, and then with our free will, we can then choose, do we want to do that? But if we choose, I'm seeing the High Priestess in Tarot in my mind's eye. If we ask the question, we have access to all of that spiritual wisdom. It's like a library. We have the library card, I think Zach said that. If you guys listen to Zach channeling through Janet Treolar, he said a lot about 3i Atlas. That's really interesting. I would definitely recommend listening to Zach. Just a very heart resonant being that is a mentor that's here to guide us. So there are so many mentors, there's so many sources of good information out there. It's just that you have to use your body consciousness, your gut, your heart to suss out what's right for you, what's the truth for you, what hits for you. There's certain collective truths that do not change. When I'm talking about, 3A Atlas flying by on the day of the Epstein Files release, when I say pedophilia is morally abhorrent, that is a collective universal truth that does not change. However, when I'm talking about personal truth, that changes drastically. This song is good, this food is good, this is what I believe spiritually. That's going to be completely different for everyone, depending on depending on your experience, your life experience, your beliefs, how you approach the world, your underlying operating system. What is your underlying assumption when you approach the world? The amount of work that you've done, the self-reflection, the self-inquiry. But the mentors are out there, and I just think their Atlas is just another one of those mentors. He's sitting on the modem because it's warm. That's why he does that. It's the mask. Yeah, I definitely think the Atlas is asking us to drop our mask to meet our true selves. But, it's not just 3i Atlas. I feel like this has been an ongoing theme really since 2012. Who are we without those societal expectations of who we should be, or what our job thinks we should be, or what our family thinks we should be? We have to wear a certain mask in all of those situations, with our family, with our job. We're never really showing up as our true, authentic selves in those situations because of expectations, because of who we're expected to be. But I think going into this new era, that's going to change. I think that we're going to show up, as our authentic selves in every situation. Or that's the invitation. Like, the invitation is to do that. And then if people don't like it, they might fall away out of your life. But the upside of that is that you're going to meet people who do resonate with that, and that's your soul tribe, right? I'm going to look at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, oh, it's so beautiful. It's the heart. This was the message that Zach was talking about. The heart is the gateway to everything. Literally everything. It's the gateway to spiritual truth. It's the gateway to resonance. It's the gateway to your higher self, your future self, whatever you think of as the divine in your life. The heart is how you experience spirituality and the divine, and it's how spirit talks to you. These archetypes are one of the languages that spirit uses, but the gateway, the passageway, is the heart. So the more you can tune into your heart and set an intention for the message that you want to receive, you might receive a message via an archetype. You might receive a message via a vision, a clairvoyant vision. You might receive a message, you hear something, a clairaudient message. You might receive a sensation in your body, which I have. It's called clairsentience. There's so many different ways that spirit talks to you. It's just a matter of opening yourself up and allowing yourself to receive those messages, and the heart is how we do it. All right, guys. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't know if you can see Earl messing around in the background, but he says bye, and I hope you guys have an amazing new moon in Sagittarius. It's a big one. It's conjunct the galactic center. So how crazy is it that the new moon, when we set new intentions, is right next door to the center of our galaxy at the same time as we have this object that's completely outside our galaxy arriving to activate our hearts. And then the solstice, lighting that fire within ourselves when there's darkness surrounding us. I mean, it all comes back to the heart. And the way I talk about collapsing time, I'll link below to one of those shorts. I talk about how 3 Atlas can help us collapse time is through resonance, through heart resonance. So when you're dropping into that heart resonance, time doesn't matter anymore. It's that experience of resonance and truth that matters. And that's where the magic is. That's where the magic happens. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Have an amazing solstice. I love you.